हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू टेक्स्ट बुक सुपर कोचिंग फॉर रेगुलेटरी बॉडीज। कैसे आप सब लोग? और आज के सेशन में आप सबका स्वागत है। वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस इंपॉर्टेंट करंट अफेयर्स रिलेटेड टू बैंकिंग इकोनॉमिक्स। इससे ओरिएंटेड हम लोग करंट अफेयर्स के ऊपर बात करेंगे हमारे आज की सेशन के अंदर। बट बिफोर गोइंग टू स्टार्ट दिस सेशन, आज के सेशन को शुरू करने से पहले, आज के सेशन को स्टार्ट करने से पहले, इफ यू हैव एनी क्वेरीज, एनी क्वेश्चंस, एनी काइंड ऑफ डाउट, सो प्लीज लेट मी नो इन द कमेंट सेक्शन। एक बार कमेंट सेक्शन में डाल दीजिएगा एंड देन विल स्टार्ट विद द सेशन। फिर सेशन की शुरुआत करते हैं। जी हाँ, सो उसके पहले जिन लोगों ने अभी तक हमारे इस चैनल को सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया होगा, जिन लोगों ने अभी तक हमारे इस चैनल का सब्सक्रिप्शन बटन नहीं दबाया होगा, तो एक बार वो भी दबा दीजिए और साथ में बेल आइकन भी पुश कर दीजिएगा, दबा दीजिएगा, सो दैट आपको यू आर गोइंग टू गेट the notifications in the coming time frame. So we'll start with this and we'll discuss each and everything in these sessions. So before that, we'll go through few MCQs. Manufacturing PMI has declined to in how much in August 2024? PMI, that is called Purchasing Managers Index. Purchasing Managers Index is calculated in two ways. One is for manufacturing, another is for the services. So in both angle, we can calculate the Purchasing Managers Index. Right now, the PMI is being calculated by HSBC. HSBC is calculating the PMI for India. So if the numbers in the PMI are less than 50, then it means the industry is getting contracted. If the numbers are more than 50, it means the particular industry or the particular sector is expanding. In the month of August, the manufacturing PMI shows a downward growth, and the Purchasing Managers Index was 58.1 in July. And despite decline in August, the PMI is still higher than the long-term average, which stands at 54. So service sector PMI was 60.3 in July, becomes 60.9 in August. So when it comes to the PMI, it is 57.5 in the month of August, whereas 58.1 in the month of July. So if you go through the average is 54. Of course, we need to push it beyond 60. Then only the manufacturing sector will look much better or much good in that angle. Service sector 60.90 in the month of August, which is good actually. So there is nothing wrong with that. So Purchasing Managers Index, right now the PMI for India is given by HSBC, Hong Kong Shanghai Bank Corporation. We are using the PMI given by this institution right now. Next, the norms of expenditure of more than how much crore has been relaxed by the finance ministry to boost the capital expenditure. We discussed about this, we talked about this news in our regular sessions. So give me the answer of this question. The question is, the norms of expenditure for more than how much crore has been relaxed by the finance ministry. Earlier there was some conditions, certain dates were mentioned. On that particular date or that particular time frame only, government used to release the money for the capital expenditure. But now government decided, finance ministry decided to relax all those norms, all those conditions, and make it simple. Yes, answer of this question is 500 crore or more. Earlier, the rule, like in May 2022, government of India created the rule of that 500 to 2000 crore. If government of India wants to release 500 to between the 2000 crore, then they usually used to follow 21st or the 25th of the every month. When more than 2000, they used to follow the sorry, they used to follow the second and the final fortnight of the quarter. So that was the time frame they used to follow since 2022. But now government of India decided to relax all those norms. Whenever the money requirement will be there for capital expenditure, government will try to release the money. So 500 to 2000 crore, that is the case. For this year's budget, or in this year's budget, government of India decided to release 11.11 trillion rupees for the capital expenditure. So 11.11 lakh crore government of India decided to release for this particular financial year. That is the case over here. EPS pensions will get pension from any bank, any branch, anywhere, from which of the following dates? So recently Mansukh Mandaviya, who is the Labour Minister of India, he announced this, that under EPS, Employees Pension Scheme, the beneficiaries can withdraw money from any bank, from any branch, and from anywhere. So that will be the very, very important update, and that will be the very important thing for the pensionaries under the EPFO. Yes, it will be implemented from the 1st of Jan 2025. So Dr. Mansukh Mandia, who leads the Labor Ministry, he announced this. So it's a really very good announcement. Under EPFO, Employees Provident Fund Organization, these EPS we run in our country. Next, Ram Mohan Rao Amara has been recommended as by the FSIB to be the managing director of which of the following bank? FSIB, Financial Services Institutions Bureau. FSIB is responsible to recommend the names for the higher posts in government banks as well as government other financial institutions like chairman or the MD CEOs or the executive directors, etc. So FSIB is the recommendation giving authority. The final appointment will be always done by the appointment committee of cabinet, which is headed by Prime Minister of India. Yes, we talked about SBI here. Absolutely SBI, because SBI as one of the managing director become the chairperson, that is CS Setty. He become the new chairperson of SBI. So obviously the post of managing director is vacated. So for that post, Amara sir's name being recommended by FSIB recently. When it comes to SBI, SBI is having one chairperson and 4 managing director. That is a proper structure of SBI. Under that structure, the new managing director is recommended by the FSIB. FSIB is headed by Bhanu Pratap Sharma sir. He is right now heading the FSIB. FSIB was earlier called as a bank board bureau, but now FSIB's responsibility is recommend the names for higher positions, not only in public sector bank as well as the other financial institutions. That is a job over here. Who has been appointed as a managing director of the NAPCONS? NAPCONS is one of the subsidiary under called as a NABARD Consultancy Services. So it is one of the subsidiary of NABARD, and who is being appointed as a managing director of the NAPCONS? Y.S. Reddy, V. Satish Kumar, Y. Har Gopal, N. Sainath, or S. Dipesh? Answer of this question is Y. Har Gopal is being now new MD of NAPCONS. NAPCONS was created in 2003. It works under NABARD. NABARD के अंडर ये अथॉरिटी काम करती है, तो उसी के पोजीशन पे यहाँ पे अपॉइंट किया गया है. V. Satish Kumar was recently appointed as the chairperson of Indian Oil Corporation. He was giving the extra charge of the Indian Oil Corporation, which we saw recently. So both these appointments are very recent appointments. So questions can be asked over here. Again, NAPCONS is a subsidiary, wholly owned subsidiary of NABARD, which was created in year 2003. Now we'll go to the next question. Vokha Sathi WhatsApp chatbot has been awarded the Gold Award at the National Award for E-Governance Scheme 23-24. This is for the first time that an initiative for which state has got a gold award for its contribution to e-governance. So recently National E-Governance Awards were given. So under those awards, this Vokha Sathi WhatsApp chatbot got the award. So this particular chatbot belongs to which of the following state? That is a question in front of you. Yeah, answer of this question, this chatbot belongs to the state of Nagaland. Yes, state of Nagaland. That particular chatbot got the award. So that is the case. Again, 40 services have been brought under the one-step chatbot of the Vokha district administration. So basically it's a district administration and who created the chatbot, and under that chatbot all the services under the district administration was included. So you need not to go to different website, different offices. Through that chatbot only you are going to get all the required information, all the required help regarding the government services. So very good chatbot they have created. Recently this function was held in Mumbai and the awards were given by the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra. He provided this award to different awardees in this particular function. So remember that. Now I'll go to the next question. World Bank increased India's growth forecast for 25 to how much percent? So World Bank recently increased India's GDP forecast. The report given by World Bank is called as a Global Economic Prospect. So under this report, Global Economic Prospect, World Bank is expecting that India's growth will go up, and the growth expectation for India by the World Bank is 7%. Earlier, World Bank was mentioning 6.6% for India, but now World Bank is having some optimism, some optimistic ideas regarding India, or the views regarding India, and that's why the 7% will be the GDP of our country. Again, World Bank's report is called as a global economic prospect. That can be another question for your exam point of view. Cabinet approved Canes Semicon Private Limited's proposal to set up semiconductor unit in Sanand at which state? We already talked about that. In one of our session, we discussed there are total 5 units allowed by the government of India. Out of those 5 units, 3 units are in Sanand. 3 units are in Sanand, and Sanand is in Gujarat. 1 unit will be in Dholera, again in Gujarat, and 1 unit will be in Assam, Morigao. So yes, this unit will be in Gujarat. 60 lakh chips in a day, 60 lakh semiconductors in a day they are going to manufacture. 76,000 crore rupee of expenditure for this program. Government of India started this in 2021, called as a semiconductor program, and total the investment in this Sanand, Gujarat, under by the Canes Semicon will be 3300 crore rupees. That will be the another question for the exam point of view. Remember, total 5 units allowed by government of India in the recent time frame. Earlier only 3 units, now 2 units being added. Out of this 5, 3 are in only one city, that is Sanand, which is in Gujarat. 1 is in Dholera, again Gujarat, and the last one which will be in Assam, Morigao. So remember that questions definitely can be asked around this particular concept. So that is all from the question part. Now we'll move towards the news. Another thing, from the 17th of this month, we are starting a current affairs special batch in our paid platform, which you can access through our foundation batch. So it will be a separate batch in which we are going to discuss in detail regarding the different types of current affairs parts. So this is a Laksha batch under which you can discuss. I will just share one thing with you regarding this batch, will be helpful for you. Remember that. So under super coaching, you can select the goal. I have selected the goal, that is regulatory body. So you can select this regulatory body course, under which you can find 2 different batches. One batch is RBI Grade B Laksha batch, which is a foundation batch. Right now 10,799 के अंदर आपको ये batch मिल जाएगी for 12 plus 4 months. In this batch, you are also going to get the super coaching as well as books, everything you are going to get. So that will be very helpful for you. I will show you the pricing, how you are going to get the pricing over here. So you can apply the coupon code. So yes, so coupon code is already applied, I guess. So 10,799 will be the case. Even the EMI is also available if you want to enroll into this batch. So EMI of 3599, that is EMI facility which you can easily access through this particular thing. Okay, so remember that. Again, if we'll talk about the courses, you can see the regulatory bodies. Yes, so current affairs mastery course is also there, so you can also go through this course. ये भी course आपके लिए helpful रहेगा, जहाँ पे आपको सारी help मिल जाएगी. But to enroll into this course, obviously you need to go through the Laksha batch. That will be the case here. Okay, so there are other courses also. I will show you those courses will be better for the enrollment. Okay, you can see this is a foundation batch we were talking about. Okay. Then there is a RBI Grade B Phase 2 batch, a crash course batch is already going. That will be also helpful for you. ये भी आपके लिए helpful रहेगा. Yes, that's all from this courses page. Now we'll move forward and we'll start with the news. Yes, the first news is Department of Economic Affairs notifies the foreign exchange. Recently, Government of India's Department of Economics, as per the budget announcement, whatever the announcement they did in the budget, according to that, they notified some foreign exchange rules. So we'll go through those rules. We'll go through those particular rules. ध्यान दीजिएगा. These rules supersede the foreign exchange rules 2000. New amendments will simplify and update the provisions towards ease of investment and ease of doing business. So main purpose behind these rules are so to make the investments more easy, to make the ease of doing business more easy, especially for the FDIs as well as for the FIIs. The new rules are obviously changed under the Foreign Exchange Management Act 1999. The amendments were done in year 2000. To make changes in those amendments, we come up with the new rules. Now, as a part of broader initiative, a streamline and rationalize existing rules and regulations to further facilitate ease of doing business and compounding proceeding of the new rules, where comprehensive review in consultation with the RBI is also done. Emphasis has been enabling provisions to expedite and streamline the processing of compounding applications, introduction of digital payment option. Basically, what they are doing here, okay, I will show you the actual notification also, the notification which is given by the Government of India in one of its gazette. So actual, the reason is that I will show you the English version of it. Okay, yes, this is the English version. The main purpose is that digital transactions being allowed, first thing. Second thing, okay, you need not to take extra permissions for this and that. Okay, everything can be done online. So to make it more easy and to make it more comfortable for the investors, we created some changes over here. So these are the definitions they have given. Compounding order means the order issued for compounding a contravention as specific subsections. Okay, so that is the point they have mentioned over here. I will directly go to the rules. Now, the Director of Enforcement or any other following officer authorized by the central government shall be compounding authority for the purpose of these rules. So basically, Director Enforcement not below the rank of Deputy Director of Deputy Legal Advisor, and RBI not below the rank of Assistant General Manager. So permission can be given by Enforcement Directorate officer as well as the RBI officer, but not less than the General Assistant General Manager. They can also give the authority. They have also rights to provide the authority. So किसी एक ऑफिसर के लिए या डेप्यूटी गवर्नर के लिए या सर्टन गवर्नर के लिए वेट करने की जरूरत नहीं है. Other officers can also provide the permission. Now, what exactly will be there? In case where the sum involved in such contraventions does not exceed 60 lakh rupees, an officer not below the rank of assistant manager of the Reserve Bank of India, 60 lakh से अगर कम है, then the officer will be there. In case where the sum involved in such contravention do not exceed 2.5 crore rupees, officer not below the rank of Deputy General Manager of the RBI. Then in case where the sum involved in such contravention does not exceed 5 crore rupees, an officer below the rank of General Manager of RBI, and in case of sum involved above 5 crore rupees, the officer not below the rank of Chief General Manager of the RBI. So basically, which officers can give permission for which amount of money, that is clearly defined over here from the Assistant General Manager till the Chief General Manager. So 60 lakh and below Assistant General Manager, then 60 lakh above till the 2.5 crore Deputy General Manager, then 2.5 crore above till the 5 crore General Manager, and above 5 crore the Chief General Manager will be having the permission to provide the this specific authority that is mentioned by them. यहाँ पे mention किया गया है. Now shall apply to contravention committed by any person with a period of 3 years from the date on which the similar contravention committed by him as compounded under these rules. For this purpose, this rule, any second or subsequent contravention committed by the expiry of a period of 3 years from the date on which contraventions was provisionally compounded shall be deemed to be the first contravention. So 3 years का एक time frame mention किया गया है, उस time frame में आप permission ले सकते हो. So one permission can go up to 3 years. That is the point which is mentioned here. That is the main reason. Then when it comes to Enforcement Directorate officer, the same concept is there. Okay, so 5 lakh rupees the Directorate of Enforcement, okay, then 5 lakh rupees but less than the 10 lakh rupees, then the additional Director of Directorate Enforcement, then 10 lakh rupees but less than the 50 lakh rupees Special Director. In case of 50 lakh rupees or more but less than 1 crore rupees, Special Director will be there. So here also the classification is being given. We need not to go into this classification of the Enforcement Directorate or the officer belongs to the ED. We need to talk about the RBI officers. That will be more important for our exam point of view. So that's it, nothing more. Okay, only digital payment or the online payment is also being included in this. This was already depending on the budget presentation. In the budget presentation, Nirmala ji already gave the hint that she is going to make some changes when it comes to the online payment or when it comes to the international payment, especially to promote ease of doing business or to help easy transaction of the foreign currency. So for that purpose, it was already hinted by the finance minister. Now the official gazette announcement is being given. Now this gazette announcement obviously is on the lines of Foreign Exchange Management Act of 1999. RBI and the ED both having some rights over here, and those rights we have discussed depending on the amount, as well as 3 years permission is also mentioned here. So that is the case. So things, actually the purpose of this is that जो प्रोसेस होती है ना, प्रोसेस थोड़ा और फास्ट फॉरवर्ड करने के लिए इजी तरीके से इन्वेस्टमेंट आए और आसानी से इन्वेस्टमेंट इंडिया में लंबे समय के लिए रुके, यही पर्पस यहां पे बेसिकली मेंशन किया गया है. दैट्स इट अबाउट दिस पर्टिकुलर न्यूज. Now we'll go to this part. We talked about this earlier in this day, but also we need to discuss much in detail. IIP, Index of Industrial Production. So IIP's data for the month of July is here, given by Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. According to this data, when we compare with the June, India's Index of Industrial Production is 149.6. 149.6. So it was earlier 150.7. It went down to 149.6. Not much difference, but yes, there is a lesser growth when it comes to industries. We need to discuss this much in detail. We need to talk about this much in detail. First of all, which ministry gave the data? Statistics and Program Implementation. This data is on monthly basis. Every month this data will come, but the gap of 1 month. So data is in the month of September, but not of the August. The data is of the month of July. Again, IIP, the key highlights is that IIP growth rate of monthly July is 4.8%, which was 4.7% in the month of June. The growth rate of the 3 sectors, mining, manufacturing, electricity, for the month of July are 3.7%. So basically, there are some groups they're talking about. I will just go to that part. Okay, look. Mining, manufacturing, electricity, and general. These are the major categories when it comes to IIP. IIP's base year is 11-12. 11-12 is the base year of IIP. So 100 as a base year. When it comes to CPI combined, the base year is a calendar year. When it comes to other indices, the base year is a financial year. So 11-12 is a base year. Categorized into 3 categories: mining, manufacturing, electricity, and the general category. In that way, the classification is there. So this is month on month whole data. You can see. Again, there is a detailed description. We need not to go into that detailed description, but you should know IIP is given by whom. First point. Okay. Second point, IIP is a monthly data with a gap of 1 month. Okay, so that is another case, and major classification is mining, electricity, manufacturing, and then general means overall we talked about. The Ministry of Statistics Program Implementation is headed by Rao Indrajit Singh. He is the Minister of Ministry of Statistics and the Program Implementation. Same way, we have the another data called as the retail inflation. CPI, Consumer Price Index data is there, and according to this CPI, India's inflation is 3.65%. So base year for CPI combined is 2012 as a calendar year. Remember that. So India's actual inflation we calculate depending on this Consumer Price Index. Again, this data is given by Ministry of Statistics Program Implementation. CPI consists of value of goods as well as services, whereas WPI, Wholesale Price Index, only calculates the value of goods. That is a major difference. The CPI is called as the headline inflation of India because it includes all types of goods as well as services, and combined means rural and urban combined average is there. From the last 2 months, we are experiencing a less inflation in our country. So in the month of July, the inflation was 3.60%. In the month of August, provisionally, the data is saying 3.65%. So we are experiencing less inflation, which is a good sign because inflation's target is 4%. plus minus 2%, but we are having less inflation than our ideal target, and that is 3.60 in July, 3.65 in the month of August. Still, food inflation is more. Food inflation in the month of July was 5.42. It is increased. So food inflation is increased, which is also alarming sign. Because if food inflation is going to increase, it will automatically impact on our inflation, which you can see over here, 3.60. Okay, now it becomes 3.65. The sole reason for this is food inflation, which is increased. That is the bigger worry, because whatever the inflation we experienced in the last 1.5 years, it is due to food inflation only. That was a major reason. Another thing is coming in our way. I hope so RBI will take care of that very easily. Other than RBI, government need to work on it properly. So that is the case over here. The other information, which things we calculate and all, that is also mentioned, like cereals, meat, fish, egg, milk. So all the products as well as services mentioned here by the government of India. Again, you need not to go much that in detail over here. You just should know the numbers, especially while studying or while revising. That's it. Now, yes, we'll go to the next point. In the first government to conduct early private capex survey from October. Now remember that this is a very, very important news. Okay. Now recently our Ministry of Statistics announced that they are going to conduct a capex survey. Capex survey, that is capital expenditure survey. A new survey will come in our country. Capital expenditure survey. So private capex survey we are going to conduct in our country. So private industries, how much money they are spending on the capital expenditure. So that survey will come, and this survey will be given by Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. It will be a unique survey, and that will be from the next year. A survey will track the private sector's capex for the next 2 years and the past 3 years. So basically a data of 5 years. So next 2 years and the past 3 years, what exactly capital expenditure we did. So private sector, that will be the case. Next, a sample of 6,000 to 7,000 entities will be drawn from the MCA database. MCA, Ministry of Corporate Affairs. So Ministry of Corporate Affairs के साथ सारी कंपनीज रजिस्टर्ड है, उनसे डेटा फेच करके 6 से 7,000 सैंपल बेस के भरोसे ये सर्वे दिया जाएगा. These results will be likely to be released by the FEB तक ये रिपोर्ट आ जाएगा. Economist survey had noted visible green shoots in the private capex but urged cautious. Okay, so economic survey के अंदर कहा था कि capex अच्छा खासा बढ़ गया है, is a positive sign, but again a cautious sign was also mentioned कि अच्छा होना चाहिए. So it's a very good initiative by the Ministry of Statistics Program Implementation. From the month of Feb next year, we will experience private capital expenditure. Again, 6 to 7,000 companies sample size will be collected depending on the MCA data, Ministry of Corporate Affairs. So gross fixed capital formation, okay, so 6.5% in quarter 4 24, 7.5% in quarter 1 25. That is the expectations we have, which is mentioned by the government of India. This data will help us to understand how much development or how much capital development is there in India by the private sector. The gap between our expectations and the fulfilled by the private sector, that gap will be focused by government under viability gap funding. You must have heard about this. So government को अपने capital expenditure को streamline करने के लिए काफी अच्छा रहेगा, and that is the case. Okay, so remember, 2 ministries, the data will be given by Ministry of Statistics Program Implementation depending on the data collected by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs headed by Nirmala Sitharaman. Now, HAL may get the Maharatna tag by year end. This is a very, very important news. HAL, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. The company is owned by Government of India. It is already Navratna company. The company is headquartered in Bengaluru. Company was created in 1940, okay, as a Hindustan Aircraft. In 1964, the name is being changed to Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. D.K. Sunil is the chairman and managing director right now. Now, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited now become the Maharatna company. It's a Government of India's company. Government of India's company classified into Maharatna, Navratna, Miniratna 1 and 2. So now HAL is already Navratna company. Now we will become the Maharatna. Right now in our country there are 13 Maharatna companies and 25 Navratna companies. 13 Maharatna, 25 Navratna. So very soon the number will increase to 14 Maharatna and 24 Navratna. That will be the change over here, and that is the announcement. Obviously Finance Ministry will decide which company will become the Maharatna and Navratna depending on some criterias. We'll discuss those criterias, okay, but before that, remember, these numbers and these things are really very crucial. So what is the eligibility to become Maharatna? If the company is already Navratna, that is the first condition, and HAL is already Navratna, so it can become the Maharatna. First condition. Second condition, the company should be listed in the stock market. HAL is already listed in Bombay Stock Exchange as well as National Stock Exchange, so this condition is also fulfilled. Third, the enterprise should have an average annual turnover of 25,000, exceeding 25,000 crore for the last 3 years. This condition is fulfilled by HL long back. Okay, it is already there. The next, average net worth over the 3 previous year, 15,000 crore. It is also covered by this HL long back. And the last but not the least, for the past 3 years, the company must be in profit that after the tax at least 5,000 crore. And this they have achieved recently. So they are successfully into profitable company with a more than 5,000 crore in the last 3 years. And last but not the least, they also have international presence. Yes, recently Sukhoi planes engines order is being given to Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. So international tie-ups, international presence is already there. Tejas planes, Garuda helicopters, already we are selling it to the other countries. So that is international presence is there. So all these conditions are fulfilled by HAL, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, and that's why it will become the new Maharatna company in coming days. The announcement is yet to happen. The announcement will be mostly in the month of Jan 2025, but every process is almost done for the HAL to become the Maharatna company. These are the present Maharatna companies of our country, 13 Maharatna companies: Bharat Heavy Electronics Limited, BPCL, Bharat Petroleum, GAIL, Gas Authority of India Limited, Coal India Limited, HPCL, Hindustan Petroleum, Steel Authority of India Limited, NTPC, then Rural Electrification Corporation, Power Finance Corporation, Power Grid, then Indian Oil Corporation, ONGC, and Oil India Limited. So now the 14th company will be HAL. Remember that. Yes, government notifies NABFID as a public finance institution. NABFID was created in 2021. We created NABFID in 2021. KV Kamath is the chairperson. Rajkumar Rai Ji is the managing director. There was a conference recently organized by the NABFID in Mumbai, and in that conference, government officially notifies that NABFID is a public financial institution, means owned by Government of India. We already know that. It was only announced in a global platform that NABFID is the Government of India's public finance institution. So through which you can use the money, or you can provide the money for infrastructure development. NABFID is the one of the AIFI, we already know. Like NABARD is working for agriculture and the rural development. NABFID is going to work for the infrastructure development of our country, and that is their job. So that is the official announcement. It was already established in 2021, which we already know by the Parliamentary Act. So it's a statutory body under AIFI, All India Financial Institution category. Now, AU Small Finance Bank Inc. pact with the United India Insurance Company for the distribution of insurance product. These news are very, very easy news. They are the basically bank assurance news. So some bank is having the tie-up with the insurance company called as a bank assurance. So examiner are asking very simple question. Recently, AU Small Finance Bank having tie-up with which of the following insurance company? That will be the question, and which will be the very easy question. So you need not to worry that much about this. Okay, that will be the case. Again, United India Insurance Company is the Government of India's insurance company, headquartered in Chennai. It was created in 1938. AU Small Finance Bank is a private small finance bank, is headquartered in Jaipur and created in 1996. AU Small Finance Bank is one of the most successful small finance bank. This bank is thinking to become the universal bank, and for that reason they already started the process with the RBI, so that they want to become the universal bank, which we already discussed last time. This is the Government of India's insurance company. Remember that. Max Life enters into bank assurance partnership with the CSB Bank. Another news. Okay, so CSB Bank is a private commercial bank. So with them, they are having the bank assurance agreement. That's it, nothing more. I will not discuss much because the private bank is involved here. So we'll directly go forward. RBI imposed a penalty of Housing and Urban Development Corporation and 2 others. Recently, RBI, like day before yesterday, we discussed about Axis Bank and HDFC. On those 2 institutions, RBI imposed certain fine for not following the KYC rules. Here, they've implemented the fine on some NBFCs, non-banking financial companies. So 3.5 lakh has been imposed on Housing and Urban Development Corporation. Then 5 lakh on the Godrej Housing, okay, and monetary penalty of 5 lakh on the Aadhar Housing Finance Limited. All these are housing finance companies under NBFC, non-banking financial category. So that fines being implemented by the Reserve Bank of India. That's it. The other fines earlier than these fines, we already talked about the Axis Bank and the HDFC. Remember that. Yeah, the last but the most important news. This news is nothing to do with the finance or the banking, but very important. A perfect world history made with the first private spacewalk. So first private spacewalk is there. This video is very famous. A 41-year-old Jared Isaacman. Okay, so he is the leader of this particular group जो spacewalk के लिए गया. इनके साथ और 4 लोग भी है, जैसे एना मेन. Okay, so you can see Anna Menon over here. She's a Indian origin. Then Scott Pottit, 50, the US Air Force Lieutenant. Then Jared Isaacman, जिनका नाम ऑलरेडी मैंने सर्कल करके रखा है, एंड सारा गिलिज अगेन स्पेसएक्स इंजीनियर. सो स्पेसएक्स इज द नेम ऑफ द कंपनी जिन्होंने पहला प्राइवेट स्पेस वॉक कंडक्ट किया है. It will create the good tourism. Basically, it will create the good tourism that even the private companies can work with the spacewalk, because NASA was handling the spacewalk for certain purposes, but now for the tourism purpose, it can happen. So SpaceX is the first private company who conducted that. These were the 4 people who were the part of this particular crew. One of the person was Indian origin, Anna Menon. So that can be the question for the exam point of view. That's all from my side for the day. So ये था हमारा आज का current affairs का part. तो थोड़ा ध्यान रखिएगा. Many questions can be asked. Anyways, we are discussing questions always at the start of the session. Through those questions, we are covering some news and then other newspaper stuff we are covering. So I hope everything is good for you. I will send these notes on our Telegram channel for the regulatory bodies, through where you can download these notes. That's all, guys, from my side. We'll see you in the next session. Bye bye. Take care.